Hello friends, so today we'll be looking at uh, doing a developing some React syntax and understanding how the basic features of React are. So first of all, I will create my project. See, its name is my app. So we can just cd into my app and launch the Visual Studio Code editor. So yeah, so I set it up. This is our directory structure. First of all, it consists of three main folders. First is node modules, public, and the src folder. I'm strongly advise you to not do anything to this node modules folder, because this modules folder is contains all the stored installed node modules, and we will not be working in this folder. You have to keep this folder untouched. You should not edit even a single file in this folder, and otherwise your entire app will crash. So we have the public folder here, we have the src folder, and the getting node and the other files are present here. We are the main aim of our project is to just mess around with this src folder and the public folder. The public folder, the file that is important are this index.html that contains the index page that will be served dynamically to your that will be actually be served to your client side. This index.html contains a div with an id of root. This is a HTML template file, and whenever we write the JavaScript code in our src folder, this the code that will be served at the front end will be released from this index HTML file, and this div id containing the div containing this id of root here. This all the place in the middle of this div, this entire space will be filled with the code that you will be writing. So let's understand the main features of React. So first of all, this we have is an index.js file. Here in this index.js file, we have this document get element by id root. This root is actually referring to this root is referring to that this is referring actually to this index.html file with this div id of root. So we are actually moving here with this index.js file, and we just move and see what we can do with this document element id root. So we have some of the code here. Import React from React. This line is important as it will add comments to make the code more understandable. Okay, this is for writing for using JSX inside React. Okay, so React we have used the ES6 import syntax. That it means that we have used the React module from this React module, and we have imported this React module and you have used this React module to, and we have imported it inside a file as and the import is known as React. So this is just used for using the JSX inside React. Now what is JSX? JSX is a JavaScript syntactic JavaScript and XML. So what is that whenever we write normal HTML code, this HTML code will be interpreted as JavaScript and will be compiled with native JavaScript, and then that will, and so we can use that we can write HTML inside of Java. We can write HTML or JavaScript simultaneously side by side. So let's see how we can do that. So this is basically this file that will be touching. We'll leave everything here as it is, and we have our element React DOM render call. So React DOM render call is used for implementing and putting things on the for rendering things on the front end of the application. So we'll leave it as all this as such it is as it is, and we'll now go into the app.js file. This app.js file is the file is very important. In this file, it is contains the class. This contains the two types of components. I know there are two. I know you are not heard of components right now, but let me just elaborate and show them with code only. There are two types of components. There are class-based components and function-based components. With the when the React hooks were not all out, then function-based components were not present. Only class-based components were present. Class-based function-based components were present, but they were dumb and stateless components. But with the advent of React hooks, the function-based components were now converted into class-based but were now as powerful as the class-based components because they had the ability to manage state. So let us understand the function-based components. Okay, now in the function based components we have the function app here, and we want to return this is a div here, and a div class, this class. Okay, now we see that here this is normal HTML. Okay, but and we have written an HTML and returned it using the ES6 function. This function, the syntax of this function can also be replaced as an arrow function. So instead of writing function app, we can write is that const app is equals to function, and do it like this. Or also we can do it like const app is equals to an arrow function, and then we can return this, that in the ES7 syntax. Okay, now we see that div class name is equal to app. So there's an important thing that we don't use class here, we use class name. This is important because here this HTML is not actually interpreted as written as HTML. This is actually JSX. This entire thing is J, is not HTML. This entire thing that I have selected here, this is not HTML. This is not HTML. This is JSX. And what is JSX? JSX is the wrapper around HTML that actually converts it into JavaScript on compilation. So this is JSX. So when this is all is JavaScript here. This all will be written as converted into JavaScript. So in JavaScript we can't have the word class, because class will be used as a keyword in JavaScript. So we'll have to use the word class name here instead of class. So that's one thing, important thing. Similarly, all the things that we use in see, we have used curly braces here. We have used this curly braces here to import a logo. Why we have used curly braces here? The simple reason here that we have used a curly braces here is because we don't want people to think that okay, we'll start now to understand React with examples. So I'll just delete everything from this and understand. So first of all, we'll just import React from React. This is for creation of for using JSX in a code, using JSX in code, or to say to convert JSHTML to JSX. Okay, now import React DOM okay. Let us first begin by making changes not to the app.js file but to the index.js file. So I'm just simply removing it and moving import React from React. Okay, this is to use. This is done in order to use Java JSX instead of JavaScript. Now what we do is we do import React from React, import React DOM from React DOM. Now React DOM is used. This is used to render elements to the real DOM. I'm all showing you from the React render DOM to the virtual DOM. DOM, which updates the real DOM. Okay. After all these things have been completed, what we need to do is we need to write something. Okay. So first of all, I just know you know this simple thing. I hope that h1 and h1. If we write this as hello, will show a C. Okay, this is how we write HTML. Let's see if we just run the project by going on npm start. See if it does print hello here. Okay, I know it will not print trigger hello. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so the page is on infinite reload. There is it is not showing anything because that server has not yet started. It's the first time it is starting, so it will take some time here. And after that, the hot reloading will be active. What is hot reloading? Hot reloading will be that when the changes will be done simultaneously after the other, there will be nothing. There will be nothing to stop the changes from that changes will be made automatically. There will be nothing there to stop the changes. You don't have to close the window and restart the and do npm start to see the changes. So okay, the problem here is that the code is not gonna compile because we are not using any React download and underscore, so it is rendering like this. So what we can do to mend this is just simply go to React Studio and place a React DOM dot render call, and we have to place it inside this div with id root. Okay, see, we got the hello here. So what is this just let me close the other browsers. So uh, what we see here is that there is a React DOM render call which actually causes this hello world, hello to be printed out onto the screen. So the React DOM render call is actually using to prevent making this call on the screen. So what does React DOM render do? React DOM render, it takes in some input. This is the input that it has taken and renders it on the particular HTML element. Here in this case, it is the div within id root. So this thing will remain same throughout the project, and what all will change is this component is going to render and the React DOM render call. So if we can use also two render calls simply, and we'll be getting okay. Why we didn't get two HTML two times hello is simply because React DOM render doesn't allow us to use the multiple render calls. Per project there will be only one React DOM dot render call. So okay, now if we write another thing here, then we shall hope that we should get two times of hello. See, we get a red line here, so there is something mistake. What the mistake is that we should have to use that you have to enclose the entire HTML into a single tag. Now there will be a wrapper tag. Let me use div as a wrapper tag. This div should wrap the entire text, entire HTML code. The entire HTML code should be inside this div, or should be inside this wrapper tag. See, now when I hit save, the printer actually formats the code for me, and this div is now this div is now, and we refresh, we get to hello printed on screen. So this was how. But what? Why the so many files there? Why we can't? Why can't we just use the entire write the HTML code entire this entire render call and then display it on the screen? Well, if we'll be doing that, then what is the use of React then? Actually, that we understand that React actually helps us in dividing the page into components. So how we can divide the page into components and make reusable components and then use them and according to our suitable and then use them inside a project, we'll see. So the first component I'm going to create is will be the add component, will be some will be the SAM component, and this SAM component will actually I will be using. Okay, so first of all I've created a SAM component and here I have placed hello world. Okay, so we have a SAM component here and we have placed hello world, but uh, but where is the SAM component? If we just see and just open our browser and check, we get DRC syntax error, unexpected token. That is something different. The error here is that with the SAM component cannot be found. It's not really showing the right error here. It's actually that the SAM component cannot be found because okay, they have missed the comma. Yeah. Okay, the SAM component is not defined here. So what we have to first import the SAM component and create a SAM component. So what we do is just we simply can create a new file. Just in the src folder, I'll create a folder called components. New folder, components. And in the components folder, I'll just create a new file. And I'll name it as sam.js. So the sam.js file. So see, first of all, we notice that all the components they are created using they are actually could be named anything. I have coincidentally named it the same as my file. The component name I used it made it as same as the file name was same as the component name, but it's not necessary that you have to do this. Okay, and you can see that I have used the JS extension even with while creating this new component. So this new component that we have created, we will have to be another JavaScript will be writing the JavaScript code because everything will actually be JavaScript in React. Even HTML will be interpreted as JSX and which is JavaScript. So we'll again be using import React from React to make it everything appear with the JavaScript, and now we'll be implementing we will be doing import from React, and now we'll be creating a class based we'll be creating a function based component. So there are two types of component. With the simple one is a function based component, so we'll be gonna begin with the function based components. So we'll write function, the name of the component will be sam with a parenthesis and this, and we're gonna return thing here. This is a simple div, and the entire code that we want to build here, hello world, this will be placed inside the sam component div. Yeah, so like this we just do it. Now let us see, let's it work. Okay, so it's saying sam is not defined. Why sam is not defined? Because we have not exported it. So we do use an export default, we write and we use the name of the class that we want to default. Okay, in one no, there is one thing to be noted there. If we want to export default something, default export something, then that export default declaration should be only one per file. It can't be many. It can't be many exports. Many default exports can't be there for a particular file. So I would export a default SAM. In the index.js file, I have to just import it. I just import SAM from now I have to put the path there. This file is index.js. It is present in the public folder. So we need a way to go to src folder. In the components folder, here in the components folder, we need to go to SAM. Okay, now let's see if that it works. See, we get the two hellos back. Okay, alternatively we can just remove this and make it as a self coding closing tag. Here again we'll see that close.